They say winning ain't everything. Well, we don't have them type conversations over here, man. Had that conversation with the losers. We trying to win at everything we do. Even in the loss, we don't see defeat. We see a lesson learned. Straight up. Look, I came into this world in 1978. The doc looked me in my face and knew I was something great. 45, 42 Prescott, that's where I'm from. Grew up in the slums around dope dealers and bums. As humble as I was, I adapted to my habitat. In my own lane, though, far from where they crashing at. Dunbar graduate, the game I'd have mastered it. Served in the Navy, look, y'all don't know the half of it. Pops passed in '01, moms passed last year. I know they up in heaven smiling down, crying mad tears, cause they son making it. No telling where I'm taking it. My city been cursed, but I feel that I'm breaking it. Coached at Wayne High in 15 in one state. Seen the fork in the road and went straight. I know what I'm worth. I'm OG King Kirk, Brooklyn Nets gaming crew legend. Let's work.
Hey everybody, this is OG King Kirk from the OG Two Cents podcast, and today I have a special guest who's been like a brother to me. We've known each other for a while now. Came up through the NBA 2K community together. It's no other than Jeff the White Kite Terrell. How you doing today?
Doing good, man, and thanks for having me on here. Definitely excited to get to talk to you about stuff, and yeah, man.
Well, yeah, just to let y'all know today, it's game night, Philadelphia 76ers versus Brooklyn Nets. So it just felt like the right thing to do for, obviously the GM and coach for Nets GC and the GM and coach for 76ers game in the hookup. Just talk 2K, life. We went earlier to BW3s, had a nice little meal. I ate a salad and some fries, I think. Jeff, what'd you have?
No, I had to give me some wings and some French fries. I had to go to wings.
Yeah, they had like the 11. I think it was $11. You get like 22.
Yeah. Buy one, get one.
Yeah, and I mean, it was a lot. And I think YL was with us. He smashed out about 20 out of 22 boneless wings.
Yeah, I brought back 9.
But just to jump right into it, just tell everybody about it, life at 76ers GC and, the off season and, just your feelings going into this draft coming up.
Yeah, for sure. So with 76ers, man, it obviously means a ton to me. Definitely love the brand. I love our organization. I definitely think we're a top of the line organization that they care a lot about myself and the players and do a lot for us. And yeah, we're definitely really, really excited about the draft, bringing in 2 new guys, especially after, or it could be 2, I'm not going to say it's 2 new guys, it could be anybody, but bringing in 2 guys to finalize our roster with the 4 guys we have retained with Breadwinner, Radiant, Steez, and Screddy. We're excited, definitely have a little chip on our shoulder with losing in the finals and stuff. And, I think we want to, our motto is kind of like seizing the moment and just bouncing back. It was a tough loss last year, but it was very humbling being so close. For me and for the guys, I know we definitely have we have a lot of determination to get back. So that's something that's big to us.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I just want to touch on something. Thinking about people taking a true opportunity of taking advantage of being in the NBA 2K League. Everybody thinks it's about always knowing the top players or playing with the top players or having true connections with GMs and coaches and things of that nature. But one player in particular, I just like to think of Screddy as he came in season 1, not really, a big name on the amateur scene, not really even playing pro-am to that matter. But he's somebody that I look at that took a true opportunity to make a name for himself. Noted as one of the top shooting guards in the offseason and also in the league. Tell me a little bit about him and his work ethic, and also just put things out there so players know that you don't have to play on the top teams or, and always be in those venues. It's other ways to make a name for yourself.
Yeah, definitely. So Screddy was he was a 6th-round pick in season 1, and he came in as a 6th man, that's what he was drafted as. And for him, I always have player meetings when they first get here, and he was very he wasn't known. He was very adamant about saying hey, I want to break the lineup. I want to be a part of this more than a 6th man. And he put in a ton of work to get there, and he started every game for us. He started every game for 76ers GC throughout 2 years, and he never played Pro-Am, just played quick match and park, and it's a testament to like determination and like him buying in to what an organization and myself wanted, as well as like being a great teammate and like understanding that it's bigger than him, and that's something that's huge. So yeah, I think a lot of people think that you have to have a connection, and that's not the truth. I think you have to go out and like perform if you're given an opportunity, and if you can perform against the best of the best, like there's no reason for you not to be in the NBA 2K League. There's no reason for you to not be on the highest platform, and that's either in Pro-Am or whatever it may be, and even in the off season. Like this off season, he's worked his butt off, and I think he's improved even more this off season. You can't be complacent with where you're at because there's always somebody else that's wanting to take your spot. You just got to work hard, and I think you have an opportunity to do well in the league.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I just want to shed more light on more inspiring players, whether male or female, just to know that really it's just about putting in the work and kind of blocking out the noise. Sometimes you don't have to take the route that everybody thinks is the right route to go. I mean, there's no way you can't tweet your way into the league. You can't buddy your way up to the league. I mean, it's really going to just be about what can you do, and also what can you provide to an organization just besides playing a game. Kind of speak on that a little bit about just being more than just a player that holds the controller.
Yeah, so for us, I think I'll use like Steez for an example. Like I think he's very skilled on the game, but like for me, he's a captain of our team. He's a pioneer, I guess you could say. Like he's gonna hold people accountable. He's gonna go talk in meetings to people and represent our brand and represent the league the correct way, which is huge. And not having problems out of players to me is like something that's also very big. So like not getting in trouble with anything outside of the league or even while you're representing your team, like that's something that's very, very big, especially to like myself and our organization. So like at the end of the day, we're not only representing ourselves, we're representing the NBA brand, we're representing the NBA as well, like playing in the NBA 2K League. So people that can go in and act the right way, go speak the correct way to people and not be like, nobody's above anybody. We have to understand that. We have to understand that we're all equal here. But at the same time, to stay in the league, you have to not only put in the work on the game, you have to put on the work outside of the game. You have to not only be good at the game and continue to progress there, you have to progress as a person. You have to progress like relationships. And that's not a buddy-buddy. That's just being a better person and showing that you're not going to be a problem and you belong. I think that's very important to us.
Yeah, and like, I guess I was just sitting here thinking, like, another word that we don't use as much as we should, but instead of buddy, it's more about networking. Like, I mean, that's really the proper word to use. It's one of those things that, of course, have helped you and I get to where we are today is, by networking and holding our own with our own personal brands, whether it was back when I, obviously was running the MPBA and you were still killing on the sticks, at that time. I mean, it's just about, maintaining a reputable brand and personality that attracts people to you and it allows them to want to put you in positions that they feel that you can thrive off of. And I honestly, see that in you. I'm a young, last year I was a rookie coach, rookie GM, and, watching you do, what you do at the highest level for the last 2 years. I mean, I have enough respect for you to want to like get to that point where I'm holding banners and different things like that. And I mean, it's a process, but over the day, being to talk to you, get knowledge from you and learn different things like that, I'm hoping that's going to carry me to be able to do that one day with my team.
Well, I appreciate that. And I think we can all learn from everybody, just like you've learned from me, I've learned from you. I think that's the way of growth. Every conversation, I think if we go into having conversations and networking and you learn something, I think that's a positive for you. Like, and for me, and for even players, like they can always learn something, and that always puts you a step ahead of the next person. I feel like.
No doubt. Like, just jumping in to the off season, like, you know, it's funny because I'm an Ohio kid. You know, you Kentucky.
Yep.
We was right down the street from each other. You know, a lot of years, didn't even know it.
Yep.
You coached high school basketball. I coached high school basketball. Tell us a little bit about your off season and like, how much do you miss coaching high school basketball versus the 2K league?
Yeah, so I'll start with high school basketball in the 2K league. So like I really enjoy both. I miss high school basketball a lot, to the point where the team that I was coaching, I go on huddle after every game and I watch it, and me and the coach now talk about it. Like I'm a basketball freak, so yeah, I definitely still have my hands on it, and I miss being on the sidelines a lot. But the 2K league is it's different, and it's brought a new life to me, and it's let me connect to people that I probably wouldn't have ever got to connect to, like messing with athletes in high school, and then like now I'm getting to mess with guys that some are athletes and some aren't. They're from different parts of the United States and the world, which is awesome. So I think like broadening my horizon, honestly, like with connections is in these players and getting to know them. It's awesome. As far as like in the off season, I go home to Cincinnati, and right outside Cincinnati, actually in northern Kentucky, and get to see my kids, my wife, all my family live there. So I enjoy it a lot. Being away from in the season, I'm not going to say it's easy. It's definitely something that I struggle with, but luckily, like, our team has guys in a similar situation, and we're all there together, and we've all like built a bond, and like we have that family atmosphere here, so it helps a lot. But yeah, just going home, hanging out with the kids, working on sports, making up for missed time is something I do quite a bit. Obviously, enjoying some Skyline chili.
Right. Now, for me, like, I truly enjoy, you know, coaching and managing in the 2K league. I miss coaching high school basketball primarily when I go to the games, and I just don't see the same fire on the sidelines, and I don't see the same, you know, go-getter mentalities from the players where I formerly coached. And I think that's the only fun. Now, when I can go and they playing well and they winning and stuff like that, I'm all cool. But when I feel like it's certain parts that's missing that I can provide, that's the hardest part. And that's the part that makes it tough. But other than that, I mean, I'm like you. The 2K League has definitely provided a different means of income, life, experiences, and things that's pretty much, I mean, I probably, I mean, it's going to be memorable for myself because, you know, not that I wanted to come to an end anytime soon, but a lot of things, you know, they come to an end, and it's something I'll be talking about to my great-grandkids, hopefully. And, you know, right now my younger son gets to experience some of it visually because he's an avid 2K player. But it's just overall just a great situation to be in. Like I said, I'm sitting here, you know, live in the 76ers GC, you know, basically gaming house. And I mean, it's a house. Like, you know, upstairs, downstairs, basement, you know, families can live in the basement. I mean, a nice community, just right around the corner from a lot of eating places. I think 20 minutes or so from the
about 20
from the
minutes,
arena.
25 minutes from the arena, depending on traffic.
So yeah, it's just a good thing. Me and like YL got on the train today. Thought it would just be great to come and do some content and just experience, you know, life in Philly. And I was satisfied with the train ride. I almost was like, I'd rather get on a train than a plane. And I've been hopping on planes left and right.
Yeah.
But I think the plane ride was smooth. The one advantages to the train versus being on the airplane, at least when I fly, is that I could sit and constantly work on the train nonstop than versus being on the airplane. Yeah. But
I definitely enjoy the train. Our train ride. I'm not big on flying. Obviously, with 2K League, I went out to London and it was a long flight. I'm not big on flying, so the train is like It's my savior. I love it.
Now how long was that flight?
9.5 hours.
Now imagine when I was in the military, I served in the Navy. I flew from Rome to Philadelphia. It was like 16 hours.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
I think at the time I read like 3 or 4 magazines front to back.
Oh man,
Because I was young then, so
can't sleep either.
Yeah, it was hard for me to sleep. Like I think every time I nodded off, I just seen the plane going down.
Yeah.
So I was like, I couldn't do it. So I read like 3 or 4 magazines front to back, and I was good. Just hopping into our last subject is just draft is coming up Saturday. Always a big moment for our league. One of the biggest spectacles, I think, that's, even in our young esports, but it's different than most esports. How you feel going into the draft?
I'm excited. Like I said, I feel like we have a great core coming back with those 4 guys, and I'm just excited that it's here. I'm excited to get the season going. I love the off season, going home and being with family, but I miss competing. I really do. I love being at the studio, and I think this draft class has a lot of talent, a lot of good role players, and that's something that we're looking for with our team in particular. And I think we have a chance to really have a great draft and bring in 2 guys that fit in great with us and can be a part of the family.
Definitely. Now, me on the other hand, I have three players that I need to complete the roster, and it's definitely something that I'm looking forward to. I've been in New York the last few days, so I typically travel back in 5 days out from the draft, kind of get here and set up. Me and YL been working nonstop about numerous things regarding the draft, so I just love the moment. It's always something new, something exciting. Watching the faces of players go from amateur to pro. And just the one thing that I just would want to throw out there is just, enjoy the moment. Don't let it overtake you. I mean, it's just a part of the goal. Getting to the draft pool is the first challenge. Getting drafted is the next challenge. And doing well and having some staying power is the main challenge. I mean, I think if I was a player, that's how I would look at it. Like even at myself as a GM and coach, I never get involved in something just to be around short term. I've only, luckily for me, and I think I can speak for Jeff too, is like we're passionate about what we do, and you wanna sustain that for a while and exist in whatever space it is for as long as you can at a high level. And that's something I really just want to spread to this draft class and many retained players and players that's going to be around in the league. Just, keep that mindset and keep that attitude and always allow yourself to be an asset to somebody.
I completely agree.
Basically, just to wrap it up, I want everybody to know Jeff is one of the newly verified GM and coaches on Twitter. So if you just give everybody your handles and follow, your team handles and everything like that so they can keep up with you and your team.
Yeah, so our team page is 76ers GC, and then our my page is the White Kite 23. And I appreciate everybody tuning in. Definitely, Kurt's definitely a great guy, great leader, and ambassador of the league, and obviously GM and coach. So just continue showing love to Kurt as well.
And I appreciate that, Jeff. And he was not paid to say that. So, just know we're just 2 hardworking guys from the Midwest trying to make some things happen for ourselves, our families, our organizations that we represent every day. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in for this portion of the show. And we'll be right back in a second.
They say winning ain't everything. Well, we don't have them type conversations over here, man. Had that conversation with the losers. We trying to win at everything we do. Even in the loss, we don't see defeat. We see a lesson learned. Straight up. Look, I came into this world in 1978. The doc looked me in my face and knew I was something great.
And we are back. That was a great conversation me and White Kite had. I truly enjoyed my time there with him. Interesting thing that happened. YL was there working the game. So it was a great game. Started at 8 o'clock. We had got our train tickets basically to come down in the morning and leave at night at 11:45. It was a back and forth game. Brooklyn got up by a lot. Then Philly fought back, and they, made it a game, took the lead, ended up winning in overtime. So at this point, it's a little after 11 o'clock, and we were sweating because it was packed. It was a TNT game, so we were rushing to hurry up and get out of there. Stopped at the first taxi. They wanted like $40 to take us to the train station. And then we said, skip that, because the Uber was cheaper, but it was going to take longer. So we ended up jumping in another taxi. He ended up charging us like $35. So we ended up getting there in time. And we was rushing. And I think we ended up getting there with like at least 10 minutes to spare. So that was our interesting little adventure to close out the night. I think next time we plan something like that, we could have just stayed overnight or got a hotel, and our Jeff said we could have stayed with them, but we just trying to get back. While I was trying to get back to the house, he had some things to do. I was trying to get back because I still was working on a lot of team-oriented things, and then also I'm always brainstorming or doing something. Like I said, I'm never finished. I'm just done. But it was just a great time. At this moment, I really want to take time to dedicate to the staff that I'm bringing along with me as a part of this show. Just to start off, Brent, known as Strider Visuals on Twitter and Instagram. He is a 29-year-old video editor from New Jersey with an associate's degree in computer programming. He began video editing 2 years ago to help promote his brother Willow Sauce in his pursuit of making the 2K League. Strider is an avid sports fan and loves watching the NBA and MLB as well as playing baseball and enjoys playing baseball and basketball in his free time. He caught my attention while I was scrolling Twitter, and I seen some 2K League prospects highlight tapes. I seen that he was the one that produced them, and I thought he was very talented. So I reached out to him because I know I needed someone that could do promotional videos. And once I seen his work, I had full, complete confidence that he would be able to do what I needed. I'm truly grateful for that. He's definitely an intricate part of the team because he allows me to be able to promote the show in a way that I couldn't do before. Also, along with using the theme music and the videos that he produces, with it having not only the audio, but, the captioning of quotes that I be using in various episodes. So I'm definitely had to have him. Just give him a follow on Twitter and IG, and definitely if you need some work done, I know he works with me, but I definitely don't want to stop his cash flow. So I don't want to do nothing but help and promote him and, have a bigger spot in the community. But it's at Strider Visuals on Twitter and IG. And then the next person that I brought along is Dave from the 2K Zone. He started his podcast back in 2017 as a midlife crisis and just for something to do for fun. 3 years later, the 2K Zone has grown into something he never thought would be possible. A well-known and highly respected brand in the NBA 2K community. Dave has an extensive sports marketing background that has served him well in bringing the 2K community content that has been well received. You can find his podcast. It's the NBA 2K podcast, the 2kzone.podbean.com. Also, you can find his podcast and blog on www.2kzn.com, which is obviously short for 2K Zone. And then NBA 2K stats and info content posted on Twitter. That's at 2K_stats and info. Dave and the 2K Zone can be found on Twitter at the 2K Zone at Dave_the 2K zone. And then also at 2K_stats and info. Dave pretty much caught my attention after he had interviewed YL, and then also he interviewed Shuttles. It was professional. The quality was great. And, you know, one thing about me, if you really get a chance to know me, I'm just about seeing people putting in the work and staying consistent. And I love building with like-minded individuals. To me, nothing is better than growth. And I think that's something you're going to see throughout this show. I did the first 3 episodes primarily on my own. You know, particularly, I think the content is good. The quality could have been better. And that's why I know, you know, about me is that when I'm not experienced or maybe not as knowledgeable in certain areas, I surround myself with people who know what they're doing, and they know how to do it. Definitely, I'm not a me guy. You know, I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses, and I allow myself to carry my strengths, but improve on my weaknesses. But at the same time, I bring in people also to cover those weaknesses. You know, it's only so much time in the day. And I think it's just a perfect partnership between me, Brent, and Dave. I definitely plan on helping them on all their platforms, as well as they're helping me on mine. So it's a perfect trade, and they'll be greatly compensated for the work that they do. And I just want them to know that, you know, I'm definitely grateful for having them. Glad they was more than excited to come along. Also, we got some great things coming beyond the OG 2 Cents podcast as well. So just stay tuned. You know, I appreciate all the love and support that I've been getting. I definitely want anytime you get a chance to just shout these guys out, because they're also putting in work with me to help make this the best podcast that it can be. With that being said, tune in for next week's episode, and it'll be just more about putting in the work. That's definitely going to be the topic for the next episode. So just stay on the lookout. Tune in. OG out.
What's up, JP? LT, Big West, famous enough, 2K Comp Games, Black Frank White, Brooklyn Nick, Rico. Let's put this work in, fellas. And much, much, much love to the entire 2K community for always showing me love. Without y'all, we wouldn't be here. Yeah.